Shalom, shalom. This is Shalimar from the Great Millstone Atlanta camp. Before I get started with this lesson, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahakwadash. Double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone that teach and rule well. Peace, love, and safety to the hopeful elect. And I want to go into this article because this something stands out. It's not exactly about as you see on the this is ABC News website. Now there was a shooting last week, and it was a guy. He shot up the CDC, which is over here in Atlanta, and he killed one police officer, and he was taken down as well. And I believe it was like 5 or 6 others injured. So this particular incident, or not incident, but this particular shooting or mass shooting is probably going to allow the government to look into other things. So I'm just going to read it because this could fall on the prophets. So of course we've been warning everyone about the government, the things that they're doing. So they're going to start coming after the prophets only because of what we're saying. Of course, the scriptures say that we're blessed when they persecute us for righteousness' sake, because all we're doing is warning our people, just like the scriptures tell us to, just like Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai commanded us to warn the people, blow the trumpet, be the watchman, because we're going into those times. We're about to hit Jacob's trouble, World War III, the mark of the beast. All of that is coming real soon. If you don't think you're going to live to see all of these things happen, think again, unless you plan on dying soon, because these things are going to happen real fast. They're right around the corner. So one thing about this article, of course, they try and find a narrative, especially when Esau, who is the so-called white man, when he go out and commit crimes and mass shootings and things like that. So this guy was from Kennesaw, and his name is Patrick White. It says Patrick White is believed to have struggled with his mental health, according to that information, as he grappled with those issues. Sources say White had become increasingly fixated on the C-19 vaccine as a source of his grievances. So this guy, got juiced up, and things started happening to him, and he got mad about the government and went and shot up the CDC. All right, so this is where they go into conspiracy theories and all of that. It says several Kennesaw residents who knew the 30-year-old suspected shooter told ABC News that they had heard White expressing similar anger and conspiracy-minded sentiments. So this guy had been, lashing out and speaking on things that the government is doing. They call it conspiracy theories or whatever. One neighbor, who asked not to be named, said White would sit on the porch for long stretches, often complaining that after he got the C-19 in him, he had lost a lot of weight, developed problems swallowing, and gastrointestinal issues. And the neighbor said he believed that the media and government weren't covering it. They're not. And when we speak out about it in our lessons, YouTube take the videos down. So we all know it was something going on behind that, but a lot of those videos have been taken down. People are now having issues with that, that juice. So I'm gonna continue to read. It says he thought the Maxine's were killing him and that people needed to know the truth, the neighbor said, adding that she didn't agree with him, but would listen. White's father declined to comment on his son when he was reached by ABC News. So this could cause some big things, some big issues. Of course, they're going to be looking at people that talk down about certain things that the government is doing. And forgive me, Salakia, for my chopped speech. I have to be careful with my words. Another thing that's going on is the YouTube is going to start requesting IDs and credit card, pictures, and showing your ID before you even upload videos. That's actually about to happen. So that's why it's important for us to not only be careful with what we say, also get as much information out right now as we can, because just like the scriptures say, night comes when no man can work. When all this stuff come down, we're not going to be doing lessons. We're going to be we may be pilgrims amongst the earth, as the scriptures say. Being out of the way. So let's go into some scriptures real quick, because it was something I wanted to get right here. It says, Luke 21 and verse 12 says, but before all these they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. So a lot of the prophets are gonna get could possibly be persecuted, or will be persecuted, because we're looked at as terrorists. We're not terrorizing anyone, and we're not lying about anything. It's all in the scriptures. It's written, and it's coming to pass before our eyes. All right. We told people that thing was going to mess people up and send people to the spirit world, and it has, and is. So when this guy here spoke out about it, and when it actually, Esau can't, he handled his issues by murdering, killing, guns. He that was his blessing, sword. So this guy go out and hunt just for fun, just to kill stuff. So they like to handle their issues with violence. So that's what he did. Instead of putting information out, hey, this is what's going on with me. After this happened, he decided to go, well, I'm just gonna shoot this place up. I'm just gonna take some lives. All right, but I'm just gonna leave this on the screen so you can read it yourself, because I'm not gonna speak on it, which is the ABC News article. And then the Lord said right here in verse 15, it says, for I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist. Yeah, when these things start happening, they're not going to be conspiracies. They're going to be facts. It's going to be prophecy being fulfilled. Okay. And then, even if we do get persecuted, we still blessed, as Matthew 5 say. As a matter of fact, let's get that real quick. Matthew 5 and verse 10, it says, blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Yeah, I mean, we're righteously putting this information out. And it's all, and we don't just talk out our minds. We bring the scriptures out. We bring out prophecy to let you know scripture said this is going to happen. That's going to happen. Just like now we're warning people about the mark of the beast. All right, which is going to be in the form of an implant. But hey, these things are going to happen, and then when that really comes, when the mark of the beast actually gets implemented, they really gonna come down on the prophets, because it's gonna cause people to not want to take it, and they want everybody to take it. They're gonna cause everyone to take it, and those that don't, they're gonna be gathered up and most likely thrown into a concentration camp, which they are already building. So the other thing I want to touch up on, I'm gonna pause the video for a second. Okay, another thing I wanted to touch up on is this pre-crime predictive policing. Pre-crime prediction is what it's called. It says person-based predictive policing. This approach evaluates individuals based on behavior patterns, social networks, and historical data to determine their likelihood to committing or being victims of a crime. All right, so we can take stuff that we're putting out on YouTube in our lessons and say, oh, well, this person, they saying that the this is going to happen and it's going to be their fault. That's why the prophets are going to be persecuted, because they're going to start blaming this stuff on us when people come up against the government. It's not us. We're just warning people of what's about to happen. All right, verse 11 says, blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Yeah, that's going to happen. But that's a blessing, because the Lord is going to save his men out of it. Verse 12, rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven, for so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. Yep, the same thing happened to the prophets before us. Old Testament prophets, New Testament prophets. They had horrible deaths. They was persecuted. And it's going to come around again. But the Lord says that reward is great in heaven. So some of us, because we're going to have to lay down our lives for this truth. But what the scriptures say, strive unto the truth and strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall give thee a crown of life. Roughly paraphrasing. So yeah, I mean, these devils are going to come after the prophets, because we're throwing a wrench in their plans. Actually, it's not us, it's Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. So no matter what they do, what they say, who they persecute, prophecy is still going to happen. It's still going to take place, and their kingdom is going to fall. But Esau, being the devil he is, he's going to blame someone else. All right, let's go to, let me get this Psalm 64 real quick. It's like 64. In verse 5, it says, they encourage themselves in an evil manner. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep. Yeah, Esau got all kind of technology. They can look at all phones. I'm probably being watched doing this video right now. They can look through all cameras. They can hear us. They can do all these things. But guess what? We're not the ones that's gonna be terrorizing people. It's you Edomites, and it's gonna be some wicked niggas out there too. Wicked Israelites that's gonna try and fight against the government. You got Israelite militia groups. Judah got militia groups out there. Some of them joined with Esau to help take down the government. We are not partakers in none of that. All right. All we doing is prophesying. It says, but Yahweh Bashim Yahweh shall shoot at them with an arrow, suddenly they be wounded. So they shall make their own tongue fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. Yep, ain't nobody gonna want to be bothered with Esau, Edom. They're gonna be exposed. They're being exposed now. That's why they got their own people fighting up against them. But the Israelites, the prophets, all we doing is what the Lord commanded us to do. Blow the trumpet, warn the people. These things are going to happen. World War III is going to happen. The mark of the beast is here. It's coming. And after, it's going to be followed by after that, it's going to be nuclear destruction. We don't own any nukes. We're not over in Russia and China. They're going to be shooting these things off, turning Babylon the Great into a lake of fire. All right. And our help is going to come from Yahweh Shah, or Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, and Yahweh Shah being a deliverer and his holy angels. We're waiting on deliverance for the chaos and terror that Esau Edom is about to bring. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and end it right there. Persecution is coming, but hey, it's gonna be a blessing because we're gonna be delivered. Still, the Lord is gonna take care of His men, and that reward is gonna be beyond amazing. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rachakudash. Double honors to my elders and apostles, a great millstone that taught us His truth. Shalom to the elect.